Hey guys! So this will be the fifth part of my History Channel Battle for the Pacific walkthrough, which will cover the first of the two Leyte Island missions. This mission looks and feels very similar to the first mission, which took place on Wake Island. Taking out these machine gunners in the distance. For this first part of the mission here, you have to run across this beach to get to the trenches. There are landmines on this beach, so be careful of those. There's also a trench gun by this dead soldier hanging on the barbed wire, but I don't pick it up simply because I don't think it's a very good weapon, not even in the trenches ironically. The Battle of Leyte was fought near the end of the war in late 1944 and resulted in a decisive American victory. The Allied forces were led by the famous American general Douglas MacArthur. The invasion was essentially the beginning of the American campaign to recapture the Philippines from the Japanese. It also included the first organized kamikaze attacks by the Japanese. Definitely a World War II story of much interest. Look at how hilarious the ragdoll physics are. I'm picking up the automatic weapon as it's great for fighting in the trenches. I don't actually think the M1 Garand is a good weapon for this mission. As always, I'm keeping the Type 100 in slot 1 because of how easy it is to replenish ammo for. These trenches remind me a lot of the first mission set on Wake Island. They're pretty much copy and pasted actually. Feels like a pretty cheap job if you ask me. Sometimes I actually make it kind of a little game to take out the enemies before my squad mate can. I think your squad mate is too overpowered and does a bit too much of the work, so much so that it actually takes the fun out of a game that really isn't that challenging in the first place. For this part of the mission, you'll have to defuse mines similar to how you did in the second mission based in Bataan. Just walk slowly towards the mines while continuously pressing Y. This task feels pretty boring. I'd much rather be shooting up enemies here. Cleaning up these guys on the hill. Looks like these guys might have been eating their lunch. It's pretty fun to mow all these enemies down. There's just wave after wave of enemies here. There's a Type 96 here, which is a really powerful weapon. Be sure to stay a couple of extra seconds after picking up the weapon to get an extra couple rounds of ammo. Now coming up on the last section of the mission. Definitely be sure to have your guns reloaded as there are a ton of enemies at this part. For this last part of the mission, you have to take out a huge wave of enemies coming down this hill. The safest way to get by this part of the mission is to stay back and use the trenches as cover. I think it's a lot more fun and satisfying though to take these enemies head on as I'm doing here. It's also pretty fun to use your grenades in this area. I'm having a blast mowing down enemies here. Kinda similar to a sequence in the previous mission in Guadalcanal. Last enemy.
Follow me, and this is an order.
And that's the end of Mission 5. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you guys tune in for Part 6, which will be the second Leyte Island mission. It takes place in more of a jungle-like setting. Until next time.